All right, so welcome to the rig rundown for Braek. We're getting it right still. Braek.
Yeah.
It's Braek, Adrian, get it right. Welcome to the rig rundown for Braek. Now, it's fairly simple. We have a very small modular case, which is 7U104.
Yep.
And the Octatrack. And so tell us what's in the modular case and what purpose it's serving.
Right. So I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 voices. The tip-top one is the sampler. The Zaps, which is a FM-based synth. The plates, multi-voice, so I could use each voice for each track. I've got the ear setup where I've got samples and oscillators set up in a way that I can play for each of the patterns that I'm playing on my octa.
So is the Octatrack controlling the ER?
Yeah, it's triggering the ER and changing the slices.
Okay.
Right. So when I play pattern 1 on my Octatrack, I turn on pattern 1 on my ER's first channel, which is a stereo, and a pattern 1 on my ER second channel. So I know that it's for the song on pattern 1.
Yeah, okay.
So I've named them all and set them up a way that I could progress through my set.
So it doesn't change it doesn't change through the Octatrack? Is it program changing, or you change it and then you change the program on your Octatrack?
Yeah. So I don't do, there's no program change going into the ER.
Yeah.
So when I change the pattern, you have to change the pattern.
Yeah, okay, well. Yeah. But you've named them the same.
Yeah. So I know.
You've got a MIDI interface as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the MIDI interface is a Tram 8 by LPZ. It's a MIDI to CC, basically made for a drum trigger. It was made for drum triggers.
Okay.
But then I use it for MIDI to CV or CC.
Yeah.
It just works for me.
And you use it for modulation, did you say, mainly?
Yeah. So, like, for example, for plates, I would use the CC out to change the volt per octave. Even though it doesn't track volt per octave, I can still set it.
Yeah. Well, it's just a voltage, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know music, so I'm not going to go and punch in like keys, so this just works for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I've got the bitbox, which houses most of my ambience and granular stuff.
Oh, right. So this is where the sound design comes in. You've created those samples and you put them in the bitbox.
Yes, bitbox and some in the ER as well. It's a mix and match.
Yeah,
and the tip-top one as well.
Yes. So you've got 3 samplers in here, really.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I've got the fracture for some percussion.
Is that the fracture's more? It is more of a percussion. Voice,
it's
not a kick voice.
No,
it's or it's in between. It's a percussion voice.
It's just a percussion. It's got a bunch of sounds in it, preloaded,
like little algorithms, or
they're actually
similar to the plate.
No, it's not completely different. Yeah,
okay.
So you got claps, you got like rim shots.
Oh, right.
But not too. You could use the decay and like make it really
You can use it as a voice if you want.
Yeah, you could use it as a voice, but I use it as a drum voice.
Yeah.
Ticky-tacky sounds. Then for modulation, I've got the voltage block. So it's got 8 outs corresponding to my 8 outputs in my Octatrack.
Oh, right, okay.
So when I'm triggering my plates, I know that 1 is going to modulate something in the plates.
Oh, right.
And 2 for fracture. So when I trigger fracture in my channel 2, my MIDI and my octa, this goes back into the fracture to modulate parameters, like for example the voices in it. And at the moment, I've set up the 3rd channel as a reset input for the voltage block. Okay. So every time I press stop, it's going to start again from the start.
Yeah.
And then I've got my effects. I've got an LFO as well, which I patch on the fly.
Yep, the OCT.
Yeah, OCSD, which usually goes to my panning duties here.
Okay, right.
So
on your performance mix.
On my performance mix. Yeah. So the thing is, it's relative. All the LFOs are relative. So when I chuck in the panning when I chuck that into the panning,
Yeah.
I know that most of these voices are going to be relatively moving in space.
Yeah.
So that's why I have that.
Yeah, you've got it clocked.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have it clocked. You can't clock it, but I've got like a sample and hold going in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be randomly getting different speeds.
Oh, all right.
So that way, it's not a static pan that's going throughout my set. And I've got like an attenuator that I could use to change the speeds.
Okay.
And I'm using the aux returns on the performance mixer with the Mimiophone, so I could add some reverb and delay to channels that I need.
Yes.
And the whole mix, the way I've mixed all these voices is I've got a 4-channel stereo mixer by Defying.
Yeah.
So the ST mix.
So everything's going through. Are all your voices going through there?
No, my ER301. 2 voices of my ER301 stereo.
Yep.
2 from the bitbox go into here. Yep. And they go into the Shackmat fixed high pass.
Yeah.
So everything below 100 hertz gets cut off. So the mix is clean.
Yep.
And this goes back into one of the channels in my performance mixer.
Okay, right.
And then
So basically got a sub mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've used the send and return on the performance mixer.
Yeah.
That's going
the
second one.
Yep. Going to the
data bender and back into the fixed high pass, which is cutting everything below 30 hertz
as well, right?
Yeah. So my mix is sort of clean.
Okay.
And it's going back into the main mix. So I'm just trying to keep my mix as clean as I can.
Yeah. So you've got a mix coming out into your what was it? High pass.
Yeah, fixed high pass. Yeah.
And it's coming out into your mixer. But you can, if you want, send any of your voices that are coming into your mixer out through the auxiliary and into the data, which also goes into the high pass and then can come through again.
Yeah.
Through that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And my Octatrack goes into the performance mixer as well.
Oh, okay.
Into one of these channels.
Yes.
So I can glitch up my Octatrack with my data bender.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And everything else together with the Octatrack, or I could not use the data bender at times and just use repeats and other effects on the things that's coming out of the Octatrack.
So the Octatrack is you're using it. Are you using it as a 7-channel
sampler?
Yeah.
Yes, sampler.
Using the 8-channel as your overall
effects. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sending clock out from the 8 MIDI channel of the Octa that's clocking the whole system out.
Yeah.
Because my MIDI interface doesn't have a clock out.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm using 7 voices. Yeah. 7 voices.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is pretty good for me at the moment, I feel. Because I set up a lot of my drums and basses, which are the main chunk of my music, on the Octatrack.
Yeah, okay.
Which are laid out in the DAW.
Yeah.
And try to EQ them as much as I can and get them all to sit on a certain level.
Yeah.
So it's all cohesive. Yeah. And as I progress through my patterns, everything sounds the same in terms of levels.
You do a lot of work in your DAW with the samples, getting them all to a similar level at the right BPM, and then putting them in the Octatrack. Instead of doing the work in the Octatrack, you're pre-doing it.
Yeah,
makes it easier, right?
Makes it easier for me to perform a good sounding set. That's the whole point. Yeah. I mean, I could perform everything in one shots even, and I know I can make it sound good, but I'm on a different journey right now. Yeah. I want to maximize my output, the way it sounds, and everything has to be a certain way. And this is what I'm doing right now, and I hope to see this evolve. And I do play sets where they're all one shots, they're all improvised as well.
Yeah, okay.
But
you were saying that 40% of your sets probably improvised at the moment?
Yeah, sort of, yeah. because my beats are laid out, so I can mix and match different basses with different beats. I could add in my atmospheres of 4 different patterns during different times of my set.
Yeah.
I could use different patterns that I've set up in my AR for different tracks. I could mix and match a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I would just do that on the fly. So that way, this one set will always sound a tad bit different every time I play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with your 7 channels on your Octatrack, how would you? Are you just you're muting and unmuting basically a lot of the time?
Yeah.
And do you have a layout for the 7 tracks? Do they perform specific functions as well, like for per track, or?
Most of the time, yes. I would have my drums on my track 1 and track 5.
Yeah.
So, say for example,
So
I've got
the top.
Yeah.
Top 2.
The top 2, and then my basses are the next ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then maybe my ambience or my percussion.
Yeah.
And this is a transitional little track,
Okay.
which will have a mix of the beat from track 1 and track 5, so I can trigger track 4 and track 1, track 4, track 1, and then I can mix track 4 and track 5, and then start playing track 5 after.
Wow. How does that work through track 4? Where do you? Is that you're not?
I'm not live recording it,
No.
but what I would do is I would record these 2 drums, mess them up in the DAW,
Oh, okay.
put it back here, or like do some stuff
Right,
like through the modular. Yeah, so there's a flow.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
So it's a literal transition channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For some of the patterns, yeah. So I've got like 10 patterns here. Out of the 10 patterns, 6 of them sort of work this way.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10 are all like one shots
Yeah. Okay.
of like kicks and snares and percussion and basses and stuff.
Yeah.
So I try and keep a mix of things.
Yeah. Do you progress through your patterns as you go through the set? You go 1 to 10.
It depends.
Yeah.
For this set, I have to go that way because I kind of have my transitional elements in my bitbox also set up to progress from 1 to like 10.
Yeah. Okay.
But I could mix and match
If you wanted.
if I wanted to.
Yeah. You can improvise that way.
If I wanted to, yeah. But I don't think I would be doing that with this set. So I've got like maybe 5 or 6 sets loaded up here in the same way. Like, for example, if I change the project, I need to change the project on my ER, change the project on my bitbox.
Yeah.
And the only thing...
Do you need to stop to reload? Or can you do that while still playing?
While still playing, I still can, because I would just like chuck in some ambiences on here or anything that has a bit of like tension, and that would give me maybe 5 minutes to like change my projects.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
but I don't need to change my project because 10 patterns are more than enough to play an hour and a half.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for running us through that. I'm sure we could talk more about it, but we'll get into the live jam.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks.